This video is brought to you by mywayteaching.com.
Here, let us solve a very simple problem. The first problem, the two thin bones, each of cross-sectional area 10 centimeters square, support the upper part of a human body of mass 40 kg. Estimate the average pressure sustained by the femurs. So here they're asking us to find out average pressure, and they have given the cross-sectional area as well as the mass. Okay, total cross-sectional area of the femurs is, they have given it as there are two thin bones, so it is 2 into 10 centimeters square, isn't it? If you convert it into meters, we get 2 into 10 into 10 raised to minus 4 meters square. We can write it as 20 into 10 raised to minus 4 meters square, isn't it? The force acting on them is given by 40 kg weight. Again, if you convert it in terms of Newton, we get 40. We know the value of G is taken, it is taken as 10. We get 400 Newton. Okay, this force is acting vertically down. Thus, we can write the average pressure. We know the formula, that is F by A, isn't it? So the force is 400 Newton and the area is 20 into 10 raised to minus 4. So you can write it as 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per meter square. Very simple problem, isn't it? Using the basic formula of pressure, that is F by A, we can easily calculate the value of pressure. Here they have given the value of area as well as force, but we should convert it into the suitable units before solving. Okay. So now let us study what is Pascal's law. The French scientist Pascal observed that the pressure in a fluid at rest is the same at all points if they are at same height. Okay, here height is very important. The pressure in the fluid is same at all the points if the fluid is at if the fluid must be in rest if they are at the same height. It can be demonstrated in a very simple way. Okay, see in this figure, it shows an element in the interior of a fluid at rest, isn't it? You can see that element in this particular figure, in the interior of the fluid. The element, that is ABCDEF. Okay, the element that is ABCDEF is in the form of a right angled prism, isn't it? In principle, this prismatic element is very small, so that every part of it can be considered at the same depth from the liquid surface, and therefore the effect of gravity is the same at all these points. See, here it's looking big, but actually the size of this prism will be very very small. So we can say we can say that all these points of this prism are at the same depth from the surface of the earth. Okay, we can consider that. Even they have same gravity. But for clarity, we have enlarged this element. The forces on this element are those exerted by the rest of the fluid, and they must be normal to the surfaces of the element, isn't it? The force which is exerted by the fluid must be normal to the surface, as we already discussed this point before. Thus, the fluid exerts pressures Pa, Pb, and Pc on this element of area corresponding to the normal forces, that is Fa, Fb, and Fc. Okay. On the faces BEFC, you can see here BEFC, the force Fa, ADFC, ADFC, the force FB, and ADEB, ADEB, the force FC. Okay, and the area of these three are denoted by AA, AB, and AC respectively. So then we can write FB sine theta is equal to FC. See, this is FB, and FB sine theta, we can write it as FC, isn't it? And FB cos theta, we can write it as FA by equilibrium. And by geometry, we can write AB sine theta as AC and AB cos theta as AA. Okay. So from these we can write FB by AB is equal to FC by AC is equal to FA by AA. Isn't it? So we already know F by A is nothing but pressure, isn't it? So we can write PB is equal to PC is equal to PA. So hence pressure exerted is the same in all the direction in a fluid at rest. It again reminds us that like other types of stress, pressure is not a vector quantity, because here without irrespective of direction pressure is equal. No direction can be assigned to it. For pressure, we can't assign a direction, it's directionless. The force against any area within a fluid at rest and under pressure is normal to that area, regardless of the orientation of the area. Now you just consider a fluid element in the form of a horizontal bar of uniform cross section. Okay, the bar is in equilibrium. The horizontal forces exerted at its two ends must be balanced, or the pressure at the two ends should be equal. You just consider the fluid element in the form of a bar like this. Okay, at these two ends, the horizontal forces exerted at its two ends must be balanced, or the pressure at the two ends should be equal. So this proves that for a liquid in equilibrium, the pressure is same at all the points in a horizontal plane. Suppose the pressure were not equal in different parts of the fluid, then would be a flow, as the fluid will have some net force acting on it. Hence, in the absence of flow, the pressure in the fluid must be same everywhere. Wind is flow of air due to pressure differences. Okay. When the fluid is at rest, then pressure will be same at all the points. Okay. If the fluid is moving, which means there is a pressure difference. Okay. If the fluid is flowing means there is some net force acting on this fluid. Okay. You can consider the example of wind. Okay, the wind will flow. What is wind? It is nothing but the flow of air, isn't it? This flow of air takes place due to pressure differences. Okay. If it is at rest, then pressure is same at all the points. If it is moving, which means that there is a pressure difference in that particular element. Okay. In the next part, we'll study about variation of pressure with the depth.